What up, Hyperchange? Welcome to another episode of TLDR, your weekly recap of good news in the tech and finance space. Our first headline this week is SpaceX raised an additional $100 million to tack on to a $350 million funding round that was happening earlier this summer. This is great news. The company is valued at a post-money valuation now of $21.5 billion. We all are rooting for us to get to Mars, colonize a new planet, get to be aliens ourselves. SpaceX has taken us there. They're pushing the envelope. They are one step closer with this capital. In other news, I feel like we talk about WeWork every week, but WeWork is coming in the news once again. I don't know how much money they have, but they just bought another company called Meetup. That's the company that arranges different meetups, I guess you could say, among the tech community. Like, you want to start learning about coding. I did a meetup once that was like a hike and pitch where we all pitched our startup and hiked to the top of some mountain. Awesome way to engage the community, especially around tech, especially around startups. I bet they're going to start hosting a ton of meetups at WeWorks. Just really excited to see WeWork on the come up. Maybe they'll IPO soon. I don't know. They're reaching a valuation rumored to be about 20 billion now. They raised a few billion from SoftBank a couple months ago. My guess is that's why they have so much ammo to spend on all these acquisitions that they've been making. Guess we'll see what happens next week. WeWork will probably have another massive acquisition to announce. Electric planes continue to make moves. A partnership between Airbus, Rolls-Royce, and Siemens to launch something called the Hybrid E aircraft, which they think is gonna be able to test flights in the early 2020s, potentially in the skies by 2030. This is a pretty far off timeline, and honestly, given the fact that it's three industry incumbents, it sounds more like they're just trying to generate hype and fluff around like, oh, we're working on a hybrid electric plane to reduce emissions. It'll come out in more than a decade. Like, people think Tesla is way too far out. I mean, this is ridiculous. But I also thought it was important to highlight that Zunum Air, which is another hybrid electric aircraft company with investors like JetBlue, has continued to make progress and raised a bunch of money earlier this year. Additionally, there's a startup called Wright Electric out of Y Combinator who also makes the electric airplane. Also, to give the quick Hyperchange plug, we made a Moonshot Monday episode a few months ago about Elon Musk and his secret idea, which he's mentioned in a couple talks here and there, about a vertical takeoff and landing electric supersonic jet. That's right, a VTOL electric supersonic jet. He even says the idea in the Iron Man 2 movie. We put the clip in that YouTube video. You should go check it out. I'll put the link in the description. But anyway, I'm waiting for Tesla to come out with the electric plane. Sure, the semi is exciting, the roadster is exciting, but where's the plane, Elon? But I think it's really important to note that, you know, planes are massive polluters. They burn a ton of oil. So I think it's really exciting to see, even though we're really in the early stages, there are startups that are working on hybrid and pure electric aircraft. I think that's awesome news that we should all be excited about. Cryptocurrencies are booming. Bitcoin hits an all-time high of over 11,000. That's right. It skyrocketed past 10,000, then hit 11,000. Now it's below 10,000, around 9,500 when I'm doing this episode. I mean, the volatility is insane, but it has just been going parabolic, exponential. The market capitalization or network value, aka the price of Bitcoin times all the Bitcoins in circulation, has now reached over 170 billion when it hit that 11,000 per Bitcoin mark. You know, almost twice the size of Goldman Sachs. This comes at a time when the CME has announced they're going to start trading Bitcoin futures on their exchange sometime this quarter as well. It looks like there's a ton of steps to start institutionalizing digital assets and cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, but it's not just Bitcoin that's making moves and all-time highs. Ether, Ethereum hit a new all-time high of over 500 this week as well. It's pulled back a little since, along with Bitcoin. This crypto boom that we've seen continues to heat up. Bitcoin is up around 10 times this year alone. An absurd amount of wealth is being generated in the crypto community. Once again, I will say I own Bitcoin and Ethereum. I'm stoked about the potential of these assets, but man, they are risky as hell. This is a crazy roller coaster ride. They could double tomorrow. They could go to zero. Maybe they'll make new highs again next week. Who knows? Chipotle is getting a new CEO. Steve Ells, who actually founded the company in 1993, has announced he's stepping down. He will remain on as executive chairman. Everybody's putting this in the news like, oh, Chipotle CEO gets kicked out. Apparently, Bill Ackman, the hedge fund investor, didn't really like him either, and apparently like didn't mention him in some weird email or something, and that's part of the reason people are speculating that he got kicked out. I just think this is way too overplayed. I mean, this guy's founded the company in 1993. That's the same year I was born. That's like 24 years ago. Now it's public. Now it's not fun. Everybody hates him. He's getting crap at every turn. If I was him, I would totally leave and just do my own thing. Chipotle now has another opportunity to go with its turnaround. They need somebody young. They need somebody with energy. They need somebody that can reinvigorate the brand, that has a bunch of new ideas. In the Hyperchange universe, on Sunday, I put out a video called the Nakamoto Roadster, which actually was produced by Alex, a Hyperchange subscriber, submitted it to me. It's his idea and pitch why Tesla should make 21 limited edition cryptocurrency roadsters in an uncapped blockchain option to raise money to validate the use of cryptocurrencies and generate a ton of hype and awareness for the brand. Thought it was a fascinating idea, put it up on my website. A couple of you guys were shook and thought it was weird. I know it's a little off the beaten path, but I'm trying shit. Hyperchange is still in beta mode, so thank you you guys for staying with me. I thought it was outside the box, pushing the envelope content that added value. I interviewed Alex for Moonshot Monday with a more in-depth take on this idea, so you guys can check that out for more. I'll put the link in the description. On Tuesday, I did a book review of The Intelligent Fanatics Project by Ian Castle and Sean Iddings. Love this book. 8 different case studies on incredible, intelligent, fanatic entrepreneurs who built sustainable moats and businesses that produce shareholder returns for decades. I mean, this is a great little book if you want to get better at understanding how great leaders build long-lasting businesses. A huge fan. They're putting out another book in a month or two, so really fascinating. Make sure to check that review out for more. Also, sneak preview, just ordered the new Gucci Mane book. Stoked to read this. This is going to be my next book review, so be on the lookout for that. Then came out with a video. Snap did their whole app redesign, so I had to get my hands dirty with that. I had a call with an awesome Hyperchange subscriber who has to remain anonymous due to their work, but he gave me so much help and insight understanding this new Snap app redesign. They're splitting social on one side of the app, media on the other, trying to be a hybrid of Netflix and mobile and personal, funny, ephemeral chat between friends. I think this has huge potential. Snap needed to shake it up. This is a step in the right direction. You can check that video out for my full review. And lastly, so next week, I'm going to be traveling. I'm going to be going to this conference in LA about microcap companies called LD Micro. It's going to be epic. I'm going to try and make a vlog of that or some sort of content. If you're in LA, I don't know, let me know. I'm going to try to go to SpaceX headquarters, maybe the Boring Company, just show up outside and see what kind of footage I can get. So next week, just a heads up, is going to be slower. I do have one video that I pre-shot that I'm going to put out next week as well, which is going to be epic. So be on the lookout for that. When I come back, we'll be hitting the ground running. That's TLDR, your weekly recap for good news in the tech and finance space. This is Hyperchange. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.